you like that gossip, like you the one drinking what's gossip.com. Now I got a word for your tongue. How many Rolling Stones you want? Yeah, I got a brand new spirit speaking and it's done. Woke up on the side of the bed like I won. Talk like a winner, my chest to that sun. G5 in the US to Taiwan. Now who can say that? I wanna play back. Mama knew I was a needle in a haystack. A Bugatti boy, plus way back. I got a feeling it's a rap. ASAP.
Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling. Yeah. Get a good feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling.
The mountain top, walk on water. I got power, feel so royal. 1 second, I'ma strike for you. Diamond, platinum, no more for you. That adrenaline, never giving in. Giving up's not an option, gotta get it in. Witness, I got the heart of 20 men. No fear, go to sleep in the lion's den. That glow, that spark, that crown. You're looking at the king of the jungle now. Stronger than ever, can't hold me down. 100 miles gunning from the pit, we smile. Straight game face, it's game day. See me running through the crowd full of melee. No trick plays, I'm Bill Gates. Take a genius to understand me.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling.
Hi, good night, and welcome to Bench Talk. My name is Jason Clark. I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts Hassani Evelyn, Damian Reed, Dwayne Collymore, and Akeem Nero. We are live tonight, so I just want to say a special good night to everyone that is tuning in. And before we get into tonight's show, I just want to say this is now our sixth episode. And we've been getting some tremendous feedback, and I just want to thank all of the viewers for tuning in, and for sending us all of the comments and stuff like that. We really appreciate it. Guys, we had a good day in West Indies cricket today, but before we get into the one day today, when the West Indies won pretty convincingly. I just want to backtrack onto the last two T20 matches that were played over the weekend. The West Indies, we got home at the end. We won this series 2-1. Some may say that it was a little shaky, but at the end of the day, as Captain Pollard said, a series win is a series win. So first, I would just like to get the guys' thoughts on, the last two matches, how they went, and just a general synopsis of how the T20 series went in general. Nero, we can start with you here for this one, please.
Not gonna really touch too much on the second T20 because West Indies didn't put up much of a fight in that one. Hasaranga he was quite deadly. Don't think the guys throughout the series picked him quite well at all.
Yeah.
Moving on to the third T20, that's the most important one.
Yes.
West Indies did get the victory, so I would like to say congrats to the West Indies for a series win.
Yeah.
But
Thanks, man.
for me personally,
Excuse me.
I can't. I don't rate it. I cannot rate it as highly as I would have liked. Yes, it's Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is not the strongest of teams, but West Indies pride
Yeah.
themselves on being tournament favorites. Probably not. They don't really care much about series wins. I guess that's what Paulo is trying to do now, saying that West Indies ranked 10th in T20s in the world. So yeah, it's true. I just don't like the balance of the team. I think they're missing a batsman that we saw
Yeah.
today, but we're gonna get to that shortly. Um,
Yeah.
Chris Gale, I don't know if right now they're playing him off a reputation,
Yeah.
but Tree is not his spot. Tree is definitely not his spot. I don't like Tree for him. I would give him another series, see how it goes, but as an opener, I guess by then
But
my
not across you, Nero. Not
hmm,
across you. I mean, you're not the first person I saw saying that Chris Gill should open if he's gonna play. But you know, my thinking is that I mean it's T20, and yes, sometimes even if you get good starts at the top of the innings, you might always get that early wicket. And so Chris Gill really actually could still be in relatively early. So to me, Chris Gill opening or even batting at three, to me, that wasn't really a big, in my opinion, it wasn't really a huge factor. But you could carry on.
but when you setting up your team, I don't think you're setting it up for
Yeah,
Chris Gill.
Chris
You know,
Gale batting.
Batting
for
at
Chris,
three.
Yeah,
yeah, you know, set it
Okay,
up for
fair
him to
enough.
be within the first over or two. So just saying, when it comes to running, it's not going to only
Mm,
affect Chris Gill; it's going to affect the other players around him. Moving
okay.
on, I thought the first part was fairly decent. The bowling, or bed, Jason and guys both fairly okay.
Yeah.
The batting was awful in this series. Not one batsman even got a half century. Not one batsman in this
Oh,
T20. Not one.
oh,
Um, Lando Simmons, I don't a moment of madness. It was
madness.
clear to see that Evan Lewis got the license to have a go, and Lando you
Yeah.
back through. And Lando
Yeah.
he lost the plot early out. And my
Yeah.
biggest takeaway for the game was definitely the moment with Mr. Fabian Allen. A lot of
And
people, yes, I heard a lot of views, but my view will remain the same.
mhm,
Yes, it was nice in this particular situation against Sri Lanka in the series chasing 130 that it's okay or acceptable for Jason to block out Hasaranga for his colleague. But at the end of the day, Fabian Allen is playing as an all rounder.
yeah.
Pays hundreds of thousands of dollars yearly to
Yeah.
play his trade. And I think
Yeah.
it's not a matter of him blocking out, it's a matter of have enough cricketing ability to negate an over. Your body spin, get a single. Those simple things.
but
So
Nero, I don't agree.
I
I
don't
think
agree.
that they got some cases where you know your ability, you know your
mm,
limitations, and rather than be to the detriment of the team and lose a wicket where you don't need, I think if you
Yeah.
got a partner at the end that assured could play, or and we know this man got well one over, so
Yeah.
it could
but I
last. I can chase
understand
the
that.
six balls.
But I say that to say, in other that yes, I understand that chasing 130 in this
But
situation.
he's still young to international cricket too. So I mean, I ain't the biggest Fabian Allen fan. I think he's still young to cricket. He's still young to international cricket. So ain't to say he is like a Jadeja that Jadeja will attack on anybody, but he know. So if he ain't got that confidence yet, I ain't seen that wrong, and and it was a good decision in the end.
and
Yeah.
and not to cross you,
Mm,
Dwayne, and why
Mm.
also didn't see anything wrong with that situation and how it played out is because you play the hand that you are dealt at that particular point in time. Fabian Allen,
Correct.
he said he's not comfortable facing
I
Hassan. He knew
disagree. I disagree.
but at that point in time, Fabian Allen knew what was coming after, and he said,
Correct.
I'm going to go for broke.
I correct.
Had he been playing another team, we probably wouldn't have been having this conversation because he knows for sure if another top bowler is coming after Hasaranga, well, you have to rotate his strike. But at that particular point, like you know what is coming after Hasaranga, you respect him as the plan was in the beginning, and then after that you go for broke. But you could continue, Nero.
Right. I understand what you're trying to say, but in theory, I don't think it's acceptable because
what we said.
I understand what you're trying to say, but Jason Clark, if we're chasing 150, 160, and we have two of those types of bowlers, at that stage, the game was probably near run a ball. The game, you understand? So it wasn't a case where you have to block out Hasaranga. It's just simple, get the ones and twos. I am not asking Fabian Allen to hit Hasaranga for sixes. You're a cricketer, just ask you to rotate your straight. That's all I'm saying.
You man bamboozle. We are West Indians. We're not known for playing spin. So I don't see it as I don't see it from your perspective because I think that if I know I ain't good enough and Jason at the other end who play against Rashid Khan and the best of the world like Imran Tahir, and he confident in his ability. Well, and we know this man. We got 2 overs. Maybe we can take with 2 overs, and it showed that the Sri Lanka bowling that team ain't got nobody else to really threaten in that T20.
I understand in this situation. I was speaking in other situations. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm listening. Said Nero talk about shielding. In the Australia-India series, the last test, Pujara and Shield Rahane, when Pat Cummins was running in, who took all the body blows? Huh? Not Pujara.
Come on.
Didn't Pujara?
Come on.
Because Rahane come on, I said, well, hey, I told Pujara I was not comfortable against Pat Cummins. We know he was not going to be comfortable against Pat Cummins. So nothing wrong with that. It's just like, come on.
Don't worry, it will come. We'll see it again shortly. You're going to have to chase 180, and you're going to have 2 of those types of bowlers, and you can't do what you do. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but Nero, then in that particular position, then you would have to come up with another plan. As simple as that. But like I said, in that position, you play the hand that you were dealt.
If Ross and Chase could have cloned himself twice, Pakistan would have never been in our series with Shannon Gabriel.
Shannon Gabriel.
So sometimes you just go shield a man from big more weakness, and I have no problem with it. Because clearly he was struggling. The first, everybody was struggling.
Everybody was struggling.
Yeah. But I would say we can't don't take wicket though. Because wicket played a lot of cricket on. That played a lot of matches with
Super 50 and everything.
Super 50.
I really don't agree with you, Vicky. I mean, like a lot of the guys get away them hand, man. A lot of the guys. Lando Simmons, the guy just did the race, man.
Evan Lewis also is sweeping.
Evan, yeah, boy.
Really, what was your take on how the T20 series went?
Good night, viewers. Good night, fellas. Grateful for a series win, but how the series was won was not convincing. That's the truth. But it was grateful for a series win. As the guys were saying, then the Simmons in that last T20, I don't know if we get that rush of blood. I ran the wicket where he was going. I was watching the match and I hear the commentator say that in a pre-match interview, he said he's the man to back through the innings. So to hear that he said so in this interview and then did what he did was mind-boggling.
When you're not required to score at 8 runs or anything like that over, you're not required. You're not even required to score at 6. At 7 runs.
This is about brain fart, man. Typical West Indian.
Fair moving to say at large, put his brain in a lizard, he would do it.
You're screwing the cat mode, yeah.
The bowling was pretty decent. I have no problem with what Jason Holder did for Fabian Allen, none whatsoever. I even respect Allen for coming out and admitting, well, I wasn't picking this guy. I went to my partner and tell him, well, you hold this over and left the rest of me to swing at the end. I respect him for that, for being man enough to open up and say that.
I got a calculated risk, man.
Well, fair enough. a series win, I was disappointed in my horse, Christopher Harry Gale.
Mm-hmm.
I eat, sleep, breathe Chris Gale. As society will know. But at the end of the day, I got to call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
We got some more cricket coming up in the year. I think South Africa, Australia, whoever the next series, he'll play that series. He shows
Yeah,
up, well,
South
fine.
Africa.
And if he doesn't, well,
Pakistan.
Chris Gale was
No,
a
Australia
West
next.
Indies player.
Australia
Australia,
next.
then we got Pakistan later though.
Yeah.
Australia next. Right. So
Yeah.
whichever team come next, he'll play that series. But if he doesn't show up, well, then that's good nickname for you, Chris boy.
Okay.
I don't know what to say. I don't know. They
I see a
won,
guy in
yes, but how
comment
they
there.
won?
Mr. Kelman said that my guy is a three-dimensional career. I would not say he's three-dimensional. I mean, he's a good fielder, he's an average bowler, but he's batting. But he got time. I give time. I ain't gonna rate it off yet because he's still young to international cricket. But I seen 2 dimensions so far. 2.
Yeah. Mr. Coleman, you're here. You could just continue to give your thoughts on how the T20 series went.
I thought the series it was a good it was a win. It was a win to start, but I think if the West Indies assessing the series, the bowling department and the captaincy, that they take them 2 boxes for me because the city changes Pollard made. After only that, I think it was in the second T20 where the guys was off to a flare. I actually had a good foundation the first half, and then to see West Indies putting them back to 130 odd, that was good. I mean, you can see that the searching to find the right mix of the opening bowlers. You see a try Fabian Allen in the last game, but they start with St. Clair. I think St. Clair got potential from watching it. I think he got potential with the new ball, the type of bowler he is, but he need to add a little variety in there, and that can come with time because he only played 2 or 3 T20, so international, so that can come with time. But I think the bowling clicking, the batting. I can't go with Gale at 3. I think if Gale can play, the age is a factor.
You got open.
I think Gale is a man that could he might top edge a 6, and that get Gale blood flowing from a seamer. You understand? Ball new. The field is not spread because he still give me any power play. So you got 2 out, so he could still. If he edge a ball, might go for 4. That build he confidence. As into oppose now, he coming in after the 7th over. Field spread 4 out. It hard for Gale to rotate. Yes, he might be willing to run, but Gale is 42. It hard. So
and he wasn't running before.
Correct. Never run when he was 26. So I didn't see who he run out.
So can't run though.
So I if he playing for me, he must open. Lendl disappoint me. I think Evan Lewis really got fine tune his craft. I think for too long he been hot and cold. Evan Lewis be a hot and cold type player. 1 minute he hot, you're saying this guy is in that next minute, next 3 games, you wonder if he got a most brain. You understand? So it's like them little things. I think we need another batsman in there. I know Nero he can put an in-half for share, but I don't think
with Nero though, you know.
Me too, but
clear.
Nah, I
but not Marlon Samuel, but type.
I think
correct.
The resources we got right now is Hetty, I think, and Hetmare is coming of age. I think is, to be honest, that is a slot that Hetmare could
Shea could be an option. He doesn't have to. He ain't got to play. Well, but if you kind of 15 and just to got all your bases covered.
Well, fair enough. He could be in his
plus
squad.
Plus, he can wait keeper too. You understand? So
fair enough. Fair enough.
He doesn't have to. Enough. Yeah.
I would take that. You understand? But I
ain't saying to be the starter.
Well,
but in T20 in his squad as a cover,
they need a batter in between the madness. Because let me tell you something, that batter can easily go from 10 for 1 for 15 for 4. So
but
need somebody in between.
I mean, I'm gonna go on a limb here. Nero, you probably might be the only one that probably might agree with me here, but I think that I think that Shea possibly could ease in all formats of the game. we need
I believe it's gonna happen.
we need someone that can rotate. We need someone that can rotate the strike in the middle. And I honestly believe Shea Hope has that ability. That's the truth.
And you have
We don't
enough
need another.
power
We do
hitters
not
JS,
need.
around.
JS,
We do
Shea don't
not need
rotate the
another.
strike.
Pardon me.
That's what I mean. That's
Shea don't
what
rotate. If you say rotation and strike, Shea is not the player.
I
I'm
can't
sorry.
understand. How it-
If you say
You
a
maybe
player
just
that
But
if you say a
I
player
know
that
I
can,
know
if
I
you say a player
And
that
the
can
current players
absorb,
rotated. And the
I
current
if
players
you
rotation.
saying, if you
I
are
know you're
saying,
gonna tell me. I know you're gonna tell me about shares, strike rate, and this and that, and blah 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 blah.
no, I'm not saying straight rate. I'm saying naturally, Shea Hope is not a person who rotates the strike naturally. You understand? So if you and he's a guy that's taking things back within his limits. So if you can tell
Because he
me in a
has
play he
he was
Nero
not put in a
don't get on that
position.
line,
He
but
was
he
not
has
put
to.
in a
This is
position.
T20. Listen,
Right.
this
If you
T20
put him in
cricket
a
is
T20 with a role,
this is we cricket, you know. This cricket is we type of cricket.
Mm.
A hard attack
Supposed
style
to
of
be.
cricket.
You were catching
You
up.
understand? Nero, I hear that
but
already about the world
Sheho
catching up.
has
But you saying
rotated.
this big thing?
Sheho has blocked a lot, occupy a lot of balls though. So in the
Yeah.
T20
So
one, Sheho got open back in the T20 and back through.
no.
He will go open
We
back
Uh-uh.
and
just
back
We
through.
can't go
But
that too
we
far.
just watched all the big hitters score 130, 110, and 115.
oh,
I
Yeah. And
agree.
the
Just
guy here
saying.
I agree,
asking if
Nero.
Jason
It
can do
can't.
the job.
And
You
a
understand?
lot
So
of
he don't
people just
understand
like
what worse they could get from here.
even in that
And
second
Nero,
T20, even in that second T20 when Sri Lanka batted first and scored 160 something odd. Those guys coming on at the end of that innings, I didn't. A lot of people probably didn't expect Sri Lanka to get to 160 and all, but those guys rotated the strike,
correct.
and I
Jason, I
believe Shea Hope
understand
is
that.
a
innings.
I
yeah
don't
exactly
see.
build the innings.
I don't see share. All right, understand what I am saying. You might say he rotate the strike. Let me say we say share come in now as the Sri Lankan pair come in. Jace, I am not saying share coming in and rotating from ball one. You understand? So the opposition team can still got time to create a little pressure. They can still be able to squeeze and keep that pressure, although Shea is batting and look good, but you might lose wickets at the other end. So to me, Shea will gotta play roles and it will gotta be select games.
But the man
All
was
right.
destroying
Hear my
the
proposition for
man was
you.
destroying the right-handers with the Google though.
Hear my
So you can put
proposition for
Sheho
you.
in that sort of pressure pot. You
The
gonna
Man,
play
World
best
Cup
stop.
is
player.
in. The
But
World
to
Cup
me,
is in October.
Hetmeyer is the best
Oh,
player
We
spin and
can't give it a
Hetmeyer is the
try.
person that's to play role. The play role, sorry. Hetmeyer will go play role.
I think Hetty
Hitman's
be
another
good.
dasher too.
Another
Okay,
dash.
that's what we're
No,
trying
but
to say.
Looking
That
for
is
back
Hetmeyer
not
can
players.
still
that also is not as nearly as fit as Shea Hope that will be able to rotate the straight and run quick singles.
just Sheho don't rotate much
Those guys
straight.
just block our boundaries.
Especially try to when last he tried
James,
what trying to finish
it's
in
strike
CPL
rate
with
in
Sheho
T20
or
stand
play
for
batting.
rotating strike, you know.
It's right.
T20 fields can be different. It make a set point circle.
I ain't
Good.
saying it.
One didn't make a more
You
let the
think?
squeeze you.
All right,
Hey,
good. Can
I'm just
Sheho, you tell Sheho you want 20 or if he lasts over, can he get it for you?
But I am
Not much
putting
man
Shea
can't
Hope
do that.
in. They
That's
can't
not
put
his role.
Shea Hope
That's
for
what
roll.
Russell would do and Jason and
If
Pollard.
he's batting through the innings according to Nero and he at the end in the 19th over, can you say my you Sheho get that with two
Nero.
sixes off of this here? Sheho probably run 6 singles.
Hassani,
He's not a natural poet. He's not a natural
so
power hitter like Hetman.
every player on your T20 list must be able to give you 20 in the last
No,
All
over.
right, then.
but
That's a joke.
Hetmeyer is better suited for the role.
Nah,
Hetmeyer
I
is
don't.
better
Hatman
suited
will
for
be
the
playing.
role.
Hatman will be playing. But all I'm saying, you need a player like that.
Somebody
That's
say you should
all.
squeeze Jason in that role.
Correct.
Somebody want to squeeze Jason
Nah,
in that role.
No, please.
Jabbar.
no.
And Gihi freedom. I don't think Jason could get that high at 4. That's too much in T20 for Jason because
Nah.
If you
He's
get a man
back.
You
He's
free,
know,
back
well,
four
God.
if he tried this
Again, open.
in
The only
T20.
boy getting freedom is my
Back
opener.
for it.
Like
yeah,
Narang or one of them. I can't
no,
give
this
man a
no
full
right thing,
freedom.
Nero, man.
No, not Narang as in Narang. I talking about the role
Oh,
Narang
oh,
plays.
oh,
I
okay,
the only person that would
okay.
give freedom. Like if it
Oh,
was to tell Jason go and open but I can't just give a man about at 4 and tell him go look. No, I
go
can't.
on,
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I can't do that.
So this role for Shea is to open.
He will go open Nero. He will go open with Evan Lewis
But with
and
the
Hetty back
resources that you
three.
can't say happening, you got
Right.
Lendl, You got
Well,
Evan
wait,
Lewis
wait,
and
wait,
you
wait.
got Gill.
I got
After that
Gill.
rundown, you wicket by Landon Simmons. Hey, you gotta
Them
say
let's
nah
go.
about him.
Leonard go play.
Leonard Simmons getting
He
the
got,
Yeah,
work
that
at
gets still
he
there.
got start.
Leonard go play.
Yeah.
But I just saying carry in the
He got
15.
start.
He covers for a wicketkeeper in case Pawar get hurt, and he's there. He ain't gonna
That's
play
only
beginner. That's all I'm
that
saying.
that's the only reason I will carry.
That's
That's
fair
all I'm
enough.
saying.
But that
But
series was
but Landon Simmons
it's
could wicket
slightly
keep
back
so
in
now.
gear.
He ain't gonna
That
go.
series, that series
Landon
just
Simmons.
slightly
Hassani,
back in.
Hassani, I want to move on. I want to get your take on the T20 series and how things are played out.
Man, look, I tell you something, right? I was so not looking forward to watching this one day today. After saying that, I was like, if this man having a tizzle for 4 overs here, Hasaranga, I
That's what we said too.
get him my 10 what happen. But you know what, we will get to today shortly. But as the guy said, and as convincing, I don't know how he's going to tournament as tournament favorites. Like, if you tell
That's great,
people,
bro.
yeah, you tell people, man, I've seen the tournament because it's worth it, 20.
Excuse me.
And the rankings coming up tomorrow for the back. People think Vaccine need number one. Vaccine need look dead last. The man do T20 series, but he man just turn up the work. I say, yo, yeah,
I
this
would
we
tell you
here.
big
I
time.
have a
That's we
problem with
part
that, but that's a story
party
for another
players.
day.
Big
I
players,
believe
big
that
time
if
players.
you should be number one. We gotta be there number three, somewhere up in there. Like the
But that
only reason
boils down to
we're always
I
odds on
understand
favorites is because
that
power
Figure blame
hitters.
the board and contracts and players and
I'm
things.
not talking about the board, Nero. Nero, if you're being honest, West Indies cricket is not guaranteed. Any minute you know you ain't tomorrow you're out. If you are
Fair.
being offered 350,000 US dollars, Nero, to play 11 games of a tournament, Nero tell and West Indies you're not guaranteed to get 350,000 with them because you might have a bad game. Let me see it with Shea. It's just that Shea is earmarked as the best batsman or whatever. And yes, you see it, but West Indies drop you for a year. You might have a year to cricket, Nero. So
I
who's
like
to
his
say
press
no?
conference today
Who
actually.
who's to say no? A Shepherd or one of these what we
Timo
call
Paul.
French player that pop up correct. Who's to say that they can get rid of them too? So I
The
mean,
best
if the
shepherd I know
board,
was David Shepherd, man. Anybody but man.
if the
Or
board, if
Romario
the West
Shepherd.
Indies cricket could start paying or offering the players an attractive price,
How much more
like
money
I
Fed?
think
They can't
West Indies
compete with those
them is
prices, man.
them is probably about West
Nobody
they
Indies
can
probably
compete with
they
those
cricketers
can.
prices.
is fourth paid,
Yeah,
probably
but
fourth paid
not
in
only they
world,
can.
fourth best
Uh,
paid cricketers in world.
I am not talk. I'm talking about when you're talking about. Look at, for example, Australian Euro. Steve Smith now get 310,000. You understand? And and the man say he ain't even sure if he can go. You understand me? So that means that Australia cricket has to be paying that man so well
No,
for
it's
you to
not that.
turn
They
up.
got
He said
Fox, they got
it's not the
Fox, and they
money.
got Fox and
I
thing too.
think
Fox the
I think
sports
his
channel.
I
The
think his
channel. So then
I think
yeah,
his
those contracts there.
opportunity to represent his country, he would rather represent his country. You see that man has put the country before that. He said so in the
But,
interview, but they
but then
said
they country
IPL like
got principle. We country
And
just drop.
money
Yes, look,
balancing.
correct. And then man is balancing. It cannot fault players. Yes, I understand the role would like the man to play every single series and to help
No, not every.
but
I just say you can't gonna play 15 series a year, 15 franchise tournaments a year. They got 3 men
I,
you window for the
I
IPL.
agree.
If you select
I
a big
agree.
bash, cool, but you can't gonna play
I agree.
count 10
Yeah,
this sixes and
Pakistan.
thing.
Yes, I
No,
agree.
that's a
I
joke.
agree.
Pick three and have a
I
go.
agree with that.
And
I agree with that. The
first fair.
major ones and you can get
Yeah,
a
I'm
blood for the
saying.
major ones.
And everybody
But
the fool.
but Nero
correct.
it
But
comes
you
down
got
to
some players on the
I think
small.
that man rather go and do that than represent West Indies. That's it.
Oh
When
good
they go in
man.
this franchise cricket, them overseas players, them ain't got no quote unquote pressure on them. So
That
then,
true.
It's how we window
well,
set up too. We
That true.
can
That
move.
true.
We gotta play cricket whenever we can. Whereas
Correct.
Mm.
then people
Correct.
go fit in series.
It's the
So
schedule
that'll be
there
one
cricket.
issue too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. We play
Yeah.
when
That'll be
who
one issue
available.
too.
Yeah.
it is what it
Um,
is, man.
we had our first one day today against the same Sri Lanka, West Indies. I must say the guys won in a pretty convincing style. But we bought them out for 232, and then the guys knocked them off with only losing 2 wickets. The guys got off a pretty good start, but I think from the time Pollard brought that up in their partnership, everything just went downhill from there. the same Shea-Hope. Both he and Evan Lewis, they put on a very good opening pair. And Hassani, to your to everyone's surprised, I should say, your guy Darren Bravo anchored the guy swung, got some runs there, a little 30 on not out. It was good to
It
see.
was, yeah, it was already iced by then, but go to you.
The man, it could have been a collapse, Nero.
Yeah.
It could have been a collapse, sir.
But like I said, yeah, the guys won in pretty convincing stuff. It was good to see Evan Lewis, rotating the strike and not trying to hit each and every ball out of the
everything
park.
out the heat, boy.
Correct. Yeah. So I just want to get the guys' thoughts on how the game went and how they believe the rest of the series is gonna pan out. Rudy, we can start with you here.
I believe we should win this series 2-1. I don't say a 3-love. We win this, they can go like the T20s. We can lose Friday and we should win Sunday. That's how it feels like it can go. I didn't get to follow the because I was at work, but I was peeping at it every now and again. And when I went lunch, I started to stream it. And I see Shea who hit a cover drive here. This my cover drive, and I was eating it.
What a minute.
Bringing the fart in my mouth, and I don't know I went so. Next thing, no, that fart for the people. All I could have said was, wow, shit.
Yeah.
But I was very impressed with his innings. Very, very, very impressed. Evan Lewis, as you said, yes. Needs to understand he could play more like this. Everything will go in his time.
Yeah. Yeah.
6 singles is still a 6. So I was very impressed with him as well. In terms of the bowling, I didn't get to see much of Sri Lanka innings. But at 140, how much ever they were without loss to get ball up for 233, that was a good comeback from our guys. So kudos to them. Apparently, Pollard, and I'm not a big Pollard, the world knows this. And I believe, right, going back to the T20s for a bit, you see that second T20? If Kyron Pollard was in India in a blue jersey, he would have bring that home for them. But he in a maroon, he in the Caribbean in a maroon jersey.
Well said. Well said. Well said.
Okay.
That's me going back. But focusing on this game, I think I always say I call a spade a spade. He's a phenomenal captain. His tactics and his thinking, his changes, is beyond point.
Yeah.
But a good win, with 8 wickets. Dan Bravo 37 do nothing for me. Absolutely nothing.
That ain't tricking you.
That tricking me at all, Jeff. At all. You gotta do that more consistently for me to think about considering. Even today, I was following it on my phone, the YouTube thing, and these guys still comparing this matter, Brian Lara. That is all my blood.
Yeah.
I got 3 or 4 more great players because I get cool saying comparing to Brian Lara.
Listening to them, though, I hear them mention, they were saying that one guy was saying that Bravo has not come to the party in that Virat Kohli and Darren Bravo are the same age, played same times. But if you look at the progression of between the two, all two were earmarked. Darren Bravo was supposed to be the next Brian Lara, the Caribbean. Virat Kohli is the next Sachin. But look who went on. You understand?
Exactly.
So it's like we don't know where. You don't know where's the breakdown. You don't know where the breakdown is going in between. I think Brooks played with Virat at the World Cup too.
Brooks was probably captain.
And look now, Brooks now again. So there'll be a breakdown in between our systems in getting to the next level. I don't know what's going on there. But Bravo, I agree with my man really. Bravo ain't tricking me. I think we see it back in Bravo.
What's shocking for me, right? As Hassani said, that guy has to wrangle how we fought in 4 overs. So I honestly thought I tell myself 233, well. West Indies 1 love down. Not has to wrangle about there. So I'm very impressed and I'm very impressed with how these guys played him out and stuff. He got 10 overs to 26 or 20. How much ever every game play he out? And give the other bowlers.
Smiling there, bro. Smiling.
I was getting there.
to the guys on the win,
Hmm.
let me try to win the series. I don't see win all three, so let me try to win two and win the series.
Okay. Mr.
Come forward to
Collymore,
win.
Mr.
Yeah, just
Collymore, your thoughts on how today went?
I honestly is. I think the Sri Lanka side is not a bad. It's not a strong side when it
Hmm.
comes up to the West Indies. I think West Indies outplay Sri Lanka all the time. They come in with a relatively mixed side, youth and a little experience. You see, they got one leggy in Hasaranga. He's a decent leggy, but they also got the other that we name no no. Oh God, I
The
get for the
lefty or
six
the one that
sixes.
get that he sixes.
Yeah, you can see that they're inconsistent.
Jai
They're
also
like the
so
head right,
Yeah.
Danny Jai. They're like the head and watch of West Indies. So you see that they're still feeling out. You understand? They're still feeling out. They got a couple batsmen that you would know of. The openers seem to be the pair seem to could give a decent account. I honestly would like to see though what the and West Indies bowling Pollard captaincy again. I think Pollard is a superb captain
Yeah.
when it comes to thinking the cricket and making the changes. Pollard to bring on himself there. I wasn't looking for that, Jace. That's the honest to God truth. I was not looking for
Hmm.
Pollard to bowl, but he
Hmm.
bowled. He broke the partnership. Then the unfortunate that wasn't out to me either. It wasn't out to
It
me.
wasn't really out in my opinion either.
Yeah, I think Pollard just bully the umpires, and being to the
Yeah.
fact that he appealed. He
Yeah.
actually appealed.
He forced the
So,
issue.
yeah, he forced that. So, but the Sri Lanka bowling, our bowling attack, I mean, it's a little dry. Yeah, a little dry.
Hmm.
You got the steamer
It
and then
is.
you got Hasaranga. But as
Hmm.
we see, once that bowling is not let me see, attacking first or not looking to apply pressure, it is easy to negotiate with Shea. You see Shea back who you could back. But I would like to see West Indies. I would like to see it now if West Indies have to bat first. If West
Yes.
Indies bat
Yes. Yes.
first, this is
Yes.
really challenge we can because although we win Jace, although
Yes.
we won with 3 overs to spare, chasing a
Yeah.
small total. You
Got set
understand?
something.
But
So,
but
uh
but
huh.
but if not across it, but yes, we won with about 3 or 4 overs left. But to me, once again, you plan you play the hand that you're dealt.
Fair
You play
enough.
out the innings. You understand?
Yeah, fair enough.
If
Fair
you
enough.
obviously if West Indies was chasing 300, obviously they would have been probably a little more aggression with
Fair enough.
through the
Fair
innings.
enough.
But the
Fair
fact
enough.
that there's no need to, chance your hand and there's only a score of 230 odd, I think your plan and I don't see no I don't me personally I don't see nothing wrong
Fair
with the
enough.
guys about
But
the franchise.
right, I would like to see when we back first. So if we back first, I will that's really challenge would be to me because then
Yeah,
you
I
got to set
actually
the
saw
total.
someone, Anita Howard, she actually commented and said that earlier that West Indies has yet to bat first, and that
Yeah,
is
yeah.
very
Right.
true. It would be very
So
interesting to see if the West Indies bat first, how they would plan out
uh, so
the
so
innings.
far so far, Jess, I give him an A. The game today was
Mm.
flawless. Share a magnificent 100 by Mr. Hope.
Yes.
It was flawless to me. He had no chances. He paced the innings well, rotate the strike,
Yeah.
and that that's his 10th ODI 100. I mean, I guess Shea papers in ODI cricket. Shea, I mean, he's still improving. You can see he's still improving. He's got ways to go if he want to be the great. But I get Jackie where I get respect where respect is due. He played a great
Yeah.
innings. He's a great ODI player, and I just would like this farm to transfer
In Test
to the
cricket.
test farm.
Into red
Yeah.
ball cricket. Agreed.
But
Agreed.
all in all, a good day for West Indies.
Okay. Mr. Evelyn, can I have your thoughts on how today, right?
Yeah, sure. It was a good win. I still got a lot of reservations about the bowling boy. We have, I know we can. We need. I know we gotta find some audio bowlers. I know Roach and Gabriel and can play the one. We need to find
I agree with you
Azari.
100%.
Azari is not. And I had a discussion with Ayana today on Twitter, and she was showing me the stats from Azari. Azari had 2 years that he got like 18 or so wickets. Yes, he had injuries in it, but Azari is economical rate is near 6 over that.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah.
worry about it.
He's got a little sitting or they
If
cricket.
not, if not for Pollard bringing on himself, I feel that man would have scored hundreds. So that man, it looks so easy at crease. And
I don't.
Sheho,
I don't necessarily. I don't think the bowling was. I don't think the bowling was bad, though. But I mean, you could continue.
well, the opening bowling was, I've, I've,
Open
it
was
was,
not bad. Jason about 10 for 20 no, 39 cents. That's that.
Yeah, Jason went for under
Jason
4
ball
over
well.
and
he
technically
Jason
hit.
come,
ball
he
well.
come
The
back.
only
His
ball
second
was that
spell was better.
extension. That ain't true. When Jason started his fourth over, Jason had 12 runs. 12 runs.
I
Nah,
honestly didn't see take the guy's ball bad.
Jason, and in his fourth over is when he was struck for 3 consecutive fours.
Mhm,
And then the next he was pulled and the
mhm.
changes when I think Fabian Allen or one of them bowled when Jason was pulled. But Jason
Hussein,
start well.
Akil Hussein.
Where Akil Hussein. Jason start well. I think Azard is just go. To me, Azard be too inconsistent when he's an example of making the
Even
captain
in
look bad. You understand? Like you will see
even in
Pollard
Test
set a
cricket,
field.
I don't take the bill of wicket.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you will see, right,
That's
correct.
true.
But
That's
you will
true.
see, to me, if I being
So you're saying
honest,
his bat has gone up and his ball has gone down?
yeah,
What
he
you're saying?
flats over, he bowling. He
That's what I
bowling
was
flats
saying.
out. To me,
That's what.
apart from like since he came out to the under 19 World Cup and he get the burst into Test cricket after he passed in his mum and thing, he slowed down with terms of wicket taking and effectiveness with the ball. Yes, he might look quick.
He has the
And to me, he
skills
bowling
though.
slow.
He
Yeah, he
has the
does. He
skills.
does.
He
He
swings
does.
ball and pace.
But I want wickets. I don't want all of that.
Mm.
Yes, I want all of
Agreed.
that, but I want the W's too. That's what I'm picking for. I want some W's next in there, but he's the only problem with that opening
Yeah.
partnership. To me, Jason Fine, he calling with the white ball, opening ball.
But Jason is to me, in my opinion, Jason is a world class bowler, regardless.
Yeah.
No.
Regardless.
Yeah.
He would, well, they saying so, man, he'll be the village near Killeen Basin. But
Oh, it must be for that AB de Villiers
Who
did
AB
not
the
kill.
Villiers never killed?
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
just saying. I just saying. But all right, let me think. Credit to Sheho. I saw someone on Twitter tweeted that Sheho should put his ODI clothes under the Test cricket clothes. So when he put them on, somebody could trick put them on so that he could feel again play ODI cricket. But I mean, it was a good start. The only problem I think is that with Sheho was rotating, Evan Lois was a period, yes, he back, but he wasn't rotating his strike neither.
Yeah, there was
He was
yeah.
Evan
He
Lois
was
was trying
was
too
crashing the
hard,
ball to fielders. Yeah, correct. Correct.
So you
Correct.
see, it's either dots or sixes. And the pace of Sri Lanka has a shimmery.
Shamaria.
Yeah, boy. I can imagine him on a. We need a Sri Lankan to tell you how to pronounce these names on this here, though. Any boy from Sri Lanka, just give you a little assistance in pronunciation. These names we absolutely mean no disrespect. We cannot. This is a struggle. But the pace, I would love to see him on a wicket like Kensington. I would love to see him on a wicket like Kensington.
140 clicks.
Yeah.
Cause they thought went the trip.
My running share head today, Jess.
But the boy saying nothing.
Everybody get hit.
My hand share
Ping,
shot balls there.
Right,
Yeah, man.
And then his Yorker bowling is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think Sri Lanka got a one good seamer. Like through the
mystery
years,
boy.
always got a one good seamer.
Yeah, and a mystery spinner.
Yeah, and a mystery spinner, correct.
You were saying something, Rudy?
Yeah, they mean that game this evening. Talking about ping. Look at how that boy. Look at you see him Chimero every name. With Mario Shepard and how you hopping in the Super 50.
Whoa.
But wait. We talking about the first one. They will be going back on the Super 50. See what
I can hear all that I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, at first you could see. I see some people saying, "Man, you Darren Bravo like he's struggling," but this would probably be the first time he was facing him, and he then run down. You can argue then.
So
I just saying.
So
Shea batted,
no
Shea
feels
batted well.
bad. So before I want to hear all this first time.
Shea,
You come in these primary school
Shea
extras there.
batted well.
Go door.
But again, I would like to see the guys batting first. I would like to see we need not in the
I don't want
two
you them.
fifty
I
or
just
two
want
twenty.
to win the series. We could bat first after the third,
But that's true
after the
too.
second ODI. I want to win this series, and then we could see whatever we want to see after that. But right now, win the toss, Polly, and do your magic. I don't want to see me bat first yet.
Now Pollard captaincy is his aggressiveness, but Pollard aggressive. And Pollard's the captain and say, you know what, this ship ain't going right. You know what? Give me this here, let me do this myself, man. Cause when they're learning, I tell them the ball here and when they're ball here, let me do it myself.
I do not
And he
know how
can
the
do it
man get.
himself.
To me, I don't know how people don't beat Pollard. To me, Pollard goes so slow. But
Yeah,
whatever it is,
kind of like
the
kind
man
of like
master
for
his boy.
years.
I think and
Kind of like for years. I'm watching my good friend Akim Nero, and to be honest, I
you
don't
don't
know
want to get
how
wicket.
people used to get wickets. That is the honest truth. I do not
People don't
know.
be patient enough, Jace, man. That's
Plenty,
what
plenty.
And honestly, back at school, I remember when he would always call the names of the cricketers that Lodge had
that he fuck it.
Call
Yeah.
Hawks, he called Corbins, you know the who else? Do you care to call some more?
The team.
The whole team.
The team. You carry.
I remember
Stick it to
telling you
you.
I lost too. You know, I lost Jace. You were the boy, Jace Holder. Just a whole time you were start. This time, Darius Sargent was in his prime. Sargent just beat him boy. We going out there from Louis Election here, Jason Holder. Try something, Nero. He tried like that. Jason, hey, you know what coming back house is the right house, the plantation house. Boy, put on that roof, man. And Jason Holder break down laughing at Nero.
Nero, sticking with you. Can I get your thoughts on how today's game, man?
Okay. First off, let me just say congrats to the West Indies. Well bowled to Jason Holder. He had a phenomenal spell today. I'm not really my biggest fan of the bowling attack. We don't, other than Jason, who could get wickets with the new ball. We don't have a bowler where the captain could throw the ball to and say, "Get me a wicket, stop the bleeding." You know, we got more men. We got bowlers who looking to more restrict than to get wickets. So yes, against Sri Lanka that might work, but against certain opposition that ain't gonna work. Pollard today the game was just floating it.
But not across around the setup that we have. Who was the bowler or who was the bowlers that we have?
We don't have any. We don't have any.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have any. See, the game floating away. Pollard with his normal annoying himself, getting into the game and make things happen. It don't really fancy him, but he made things happen. Rather through annoying the opposition, he just made something, a brilliant catch here or there. That's one I can never dispute about Pollard. He's a phenomenal fielder. West Indies, I thought Sri Lanka was on pace about probably to 300, but yes, the 230 odd. Yeah, the 230 odd was respectable for the West Indies to chase. Evan Lewis well played for his half century. Darren Bravo under no pressure there. The game was already sealed. Came in, not out. Dave Mohammed did well not to get out. And we think something else happened today. Oh, yes. Shea made 100. Shea made his 10th 100. Only 7 men that ever played for the West Indies. 7, you know. Got more hundreds in water cricket than Shea Hope. Y'all know how much men Sarwan and these guys play for West Indies, you know. So name them. Only 7 men got more hundreds than Shea Hope.
Your guy Marlon.
They tell you know. Marlon, the icon, they tell you know.
Probably saying games left though.
Just saying. Sarwan played 140 or Sarwan played 140 or 170 saying I got about 7 or 5. I can't remember 1 or 2. Since 2019. Only one man got more hundreds than Shea Hope in one day cricket.
Rohit.
Rohit. And he had 500s in the World Cup. So if you're thinking about a span, let me speak. So if you're speaking about consistency through a period, you know, Shea has probably been the most consistent. Yes, the naysayers and the critics will speak about Test cricket and we get in there. We get it. We just come back.
But Nero, in the This is a criticism on the Test cricket. It's a fact.
Yeah, you understand? This is our first game back since we've been resting. You understand?
He
This is our
looked good.
first
Yeah.
game back.
He looked good.
And he
He looked
looks
very
he
good.
looks
So
in,
we can
he looks in fine form.
refresh
Yeah.
it.
I want
Step to
him to
this,
say
you
that.
know?
I don't know. Man just look fit.
Yeah, and he
He has
just
to
today
be.
showed that
Yeah,
he's for sure a world class player. In one day
definitely.
cricket for sure, one of the best one day
Yeah,
cricketers in the world. It's just for
yeah,
him to even get half of that in the Test cricket, and
yeah,
and
That's
you will
all.
have a
That's
class
all.
player because he's one of the best players to watch in the world. I can't
yeah,
name four players that I rather watch back than him. You
yeah.
understand? So
And one day
well,
cricket or Test cricket.
just batting, I can't name four other players that I rather watch back.
You would say
Well
something,
played to
Rudy? Sorry, Nero, continue. Sorry.
right,
Oh yeah.
right, well played to him, and I
Go ahead,
guess
Neil.
right. The reason we are not speaking about Hasaranga has a lot to do with. It's not a coincidence that Shea Holt is playing. I don't want to toot his horn too much, but it's not a coincidence. One might say it is 50 over and could sit down on the ball a bit more, but
Mhm.
you understand what I'm saying? Batsmanship.
But he
Batsmanship.
still ball pretty tight, you know. He didn't get a wicket, but he was still 10 overs. Like I think
She
he
about
had a
him well
couple.
though.
There's a reason he got a
Yeah.
wicket.
You
She
bat it
about
out.
him well.
Bat it out. Simple as that.
But
He's a good
it was
bowler.
a
You bat him
bottom.
out.
But that seems to be the plan for the team though. Because
Yeah.
even in the
So don't tell
interview,
you
Shea was saying so. It seems they don't give the wickets
Mhm.
and just let he get wherever we get from he we tap and the rest we pound.
I'm wondering if it was a chase. If it was a chase, and we had like say 300 or like
Now
330,
you
we could
always with
make.
this if
that's what he wants to
if all the time.
Here we
If
go.
what? If
if.
what? What if? In the if here, West Indies win the game,
Oh,
we
I
up
mean,
1 love
sure.
and we move for. I don't
Okay,
want to hear
If
if.
Yeah.
you
When
had
it comes to
300,
West Indies,
320 to
everybody
win,
always
I would have been
if thing. If India they get England a different pitch. If I don't want to if we win. We win.
Alright.
Really, you can answer that question there again.
If West Indies had 300 or 320 to chase, Darren Bravo would have been it home.
Whoa.
Of course, yeah.
He bring on score, but
That's not man.
Exactly, it been
Sorry.
home score, but
Dan Bravo and Shea Hawk. And we would have been talking about Dan Bravo and Shea Hawk.
I said it one thing I realized, but you said it. When you like a man, you like a man.
But
And when
we
you
don't see
don't like a
anything for
man,
Nero.
you don't like
Yeah,
a man.
man.
We don't say anything for Nero. What he was said
I
about Shea, which
justified.
I give him a lot of respect for, was his post-match interview. That was professional. He admitted, well, hey, he was going to, and he worked on it, how he reflected on the year off or the year away from the game. And I can respect that maturity, and that is why I could give him a lot of props. He realized he was making some mistakes, like he went back and he worked on them.
But to me, that interviewing, that shared character that he put, like you will meet this man at a cricket game on a Saturday,
Yeah.
boss,
Yeah.
and the man is just moved like he got the most time in the world. Like he is so chill. Like
Yeah.
he don't worry about the cold. He don't worry about the sun. He don't. The man is just that sort of guy. You don't see shit like so. Like that interview was normal to me. I mean, I know he's a man that love cricket, just that's a man
Yeah.
that love cricket. He's a man
Yeah.
that and he's a guy that humble too, you understand? So he can go by and reflect. She can reflect and share his work on the game. Then a doubt in my mind that share
That
and
shit is work
hope
on his craft.
is
Yeah.
work on the game. Right true.
Yeah.
So
No doubt
but
about
yeah,
it.
man, it's good to have him back, boy.
all the talk, correct.
You're
All
welcome.
the
You're
talk,
welcome.
these radio commentators comparing Dan Bravo to Brian Lara and this thing and that's the third. Shea Hope is the best batsman in the Caribbean. Full stop.
Yeah.
And one day
Yeah,
cricket.
yeah,
And one day cricket.
yeah.
In any
The best
form of
batsman.
cricket, it's
He's
just
the
that
best
he is.
batsman. He's the best batsman,
He's
Hassani.
the
No
best
doubt
batsman
about
He's
in
the
it.
best
Caribbean.
batsman in the
Then the
Caribbean.
two
He's
is
the
what
best
that.
batsman in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
No doubt
Then the
about
two is
it.
what that. Then the
In
two
the
is
two,
what that,
like,
Sonny.
when you watch
That was true.
Shakira Samuel was one comparing.
These is real them. I don't know what it was. These real them, man.
Nah, he just
I
man
didn't
that
already
argue too.
watch it.
He just like the man from the islands.
Right,
I like that man though,
Mhm.
cause that man real. I love that man. That man.
Yes,
I
Yeah,
listening to
correct.
that man in our warm up game. Listen, it. The man dropped some of that man here. The only man that the man bring in our test squad, let me tell, is Brooks and Roston. You may say, see, all rest. Sit down.
God.
You see, Bravo? You see,
Go on.
You
Bravo?
serious?
All right. Yeah. Remember, serious? Man,
I'm
tell
so
Bravo,
looking
sit
forward to
down,
that.
brother.
Yeah, Nero boy, I'm really looking forward
So
to
John
see.
Campbell score
Yeah, put Gamble back in.
the
You can
test
play
the
pick the
test
team
score.
right now.
Campbell
Yeah,
gonna play, man. I don't know.
yeah.
Man
Yeah,
hurt my
Practice games
heart
just do
here.
that something. Practice games do that here something.
They
yeah.
might
But
get short.
but
They
you see
might
the thing
get
is
game. I told
Shane didn't capitalize neither.
yeah,
I think it's
Moses
Shane was playing on two different squads that I think, you know. Two of
Moses
them
fading
open
off.
together, you know, they were playing on.
But
Yeah.
Moses
but the
fading
same
off
way,
here, boy.
yeah, he is right. But I can't discard it yet. If you get John Campbell 14 or so
I ain't
matches
It was
discarding.
mature
straight,
though. It
I,
was a it was
we can't discard him
I
more than
agree with
Moses
you,
gotta
Abdul.
work
really.
real hard there, yeah.
I
Moses
agree with
gotta
you,
work
really.
hard.
I
He
ain't,
He
gotta
does.
work hard, bro.
I ain't
He
getting
ain't
rid of him
discard
yet.
me. We gotta find true.
He gonna play. He scored about
Yeah.
97 in last Super 50 game. Some 90 something he scored. And then he scored 107 there just
who?
now. So
John ain't. I mean,
Johnny scored
it's to
some
the
sort of big
detriment of
runs in
West
the fifth
Indies
Super 50 late
because to me, I don't really
when he
give a
come back.
damn. Yes, and you know what? I ain't really excited about that 100 because I against one another, you know,
Correct.
against one another. You
But
understand that you
still,
score
we need
that
to
against
reset
Sri
form.
Lanka, eh? You understand? Cause I don't even think, yeah, that ain't it. You score against Sri Lanka, eh, or whatever the case is. So I mean, it in people memory is a game that they're playing, so he'll be in. But to me, for me, John Cameron will do this thing. He will not. You see the semen that that man got there and I want their cricket, Jason. Just now, man, John Campbell running John Campbell pads. Remember, I tell you so tonight, he is going to run into John Campbell pads or lick down his stumps. And then he can act surprised and down and we can be back here again. Like, to me, he's not going to surprise me, Jason. Yes, he scored 100, but I watched the game. I watched the game. There's no big improvement in his technique. You understand? He still got this mentality. He's a dasher.
We see his ceiling already then basically.
Correct. You see he at his peak. You understand? And it's not to say he is a dasher like a pant that hone his skills and know he limits and could fire here and call back there. Like he got this mentality to me, he just a basher. Whether he got things going for here or not. So he can play, but it can be to the detriment of West Indies.
Well,
Agreed.
guys, we'll see how the next
I think
two
he gets that connectivity.
ODIs play out. Hopefully, the West Indies can replicate what they did today. Quickly, guys, I just want to get your thoughts on the England India series. Nero, I see you here, Nero. Um, we saw India won the last match and they took the series 3-1. They won a pretty convincing still actually in that last match. I don't think that we can blame the wicket for that for that win. So I just want to get the guys' thoughts on how they thought that series went.
The Queen under pressure all around, Jace. All
Uh,
around the palace,
well,
Buckingham Palace under pressure, man.
we can start with you here, Mr. Collymore.
All around, Jace. I do not feel for England. Jace, I thought that India played great cricket. They played the I think that as Graham Swan was saying in an interview, post match interview, that if England batters are honest with themselves, you're trying. Virat Kohli came to England. He failed, went back, worked hard, mastered the conditions. You can't. The cricket has not evolved. That you can't just say, "Oh, the pitches are this and the pitch." You have to master your skills in all sorts of conditions. You understand? The world is now looking for you to be good in everywhere. You can't go Bangladesh and tell Bangladesh, "Oh, prepare a true track because I'm Joe Root, I'm from England." So to me, I think England played. I was vexed with them in again. I
First
don't know what to
test.
do the first test. I think I would have got 4 love, Jace. I would have got 4 love. You understand? Look at that. People tell me predict, but Root wrong. Root must have finished over 260 runs,
All right,
270
and
runs.
He
200
finished.
You
was a
He,
one
understand?
he
inning.
nah.
200 was a one inning.
You understand? So to me,
I
my
think
prediction
Root
may
finished
have
with
been
most
wrong,
runs. I think
Jason.
Root finished with most
But
runs. Why most
yeah,
runs?
because he had
But yeah,
201 games. And I'm not
yeah.
discrediting Joe Root, Jason, but I was going based on stats. You understand? India
Correct.
match fix for me because they give the man a good pitch. The first test. The brought my heart. You understand? So he was able to score a double. But look at the other games now where we want to see this. Just the whole people just want to see this Virat got England and want to see the best of Virat when you're Australia, Puja. I want to see Root down there master when the ball turning from off stump to square leg. You understand? Don't tell me that oh man, these pitches is garbage because you can't score 400 and like as Nero we was talking to, Nero was saying like we have become the pitches. What
Condition
was a good
brainwash.
test match, Jason? You England will score 600, Jason, and one team back once. That's a good test match. We call you 2 for 1 a team. What was the difference if all two teams back in 2 days? That showcase. They show me who better the conditions. It showed me that India mastering conditions, the master playing the spin and the pace because they win in Australia, they come home and win in India. So I am not surprised. I looking forward to when India go to England.
Yeah, well, that should be very interesting, to be honest. I think everyone is looking forward to that day in the cricketing world. But like I said, we'll definitely see how that one goes. Really, what are your thoughts? I know you were heavy on Joe Root earlier on. So what are your thoughts on how that series ended?
I knew India would have won. I was saying 2-1 with a draw somewhere in between there. I was factoring in a rain at some point, but I was wrong because that series was playing in India, not in England. Now we're trying to say that was wrong again. That series was playing in India, not England, where rain does affect everything. But Joe Root, that double century in the first innings was shocking for me. And look, he backed 6 times after that, and how much he scored? I don't think he scored 250 in total in the whole series, or probably just over 250. His conversion rates are poor compared to the other big four like Steve Smith and Virat and those guys.
Yeah.
But there's no way I saw England beating India in India directly after India beat Australia with a seaside in Australia. There's no way. God will come off each one and tell yeah, boy.
Yeah.
India can beat England and beat India at home. No way was there.
Yeah.
But all in all, I see Anita here asking about the rotating players thing. That's
I was getting there. This person beating me to it, boy.
That's not. Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah,
I don't know we got Anita Howard. I don't know we got Anita Howard, but yeah, that's how we.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know we got Anita Howard.
Yeah,
Howard married fellas. I don't know if there's the wife account. Howard is the wife account. Are you using and you too?
Man wanted.
Yeah,
but that rotation thing, it's tricky.
Quite poor.
Because you're playing a biosecure bubble, right? Exactly. Because
I disagree more.
If it wasn't COVID and stuff like that, you can still play. You only rotate the body unless there's an injury.
But if you rotate, you could have rotated for Sri Lanka. India gonna be your priority series. You could have rest me for Sri Lanka just now.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm only trying to
your best 11
I find their priorities is only the Ashes and World Cups. Your priority gonna be India now. India's probably the best team in the world. That's gonna be your priority.
Yeah.
So they make a rest for Sri Lanka and rest for whatever series after. But decent series, man. The first test was disappointing. It was bittersweet moment too because India won, but you didn't really get to see the best of Virat, Pujara, or Rahane. But the guys still had enough in the team to still dominate the series without 3 of those guys. And even Gill, oh Lord.
That Pant scored.
Special.
I was getting a Pant, man. I think he has no elevated himself to rock star status. Like before, they always used to cry, because of Dhoni, how Dhoni exited. So they always had a little friction between the fans and Dhoni. But now Dhoni is completely out of the way, and Pant is doing what he's doing. He's on a path to be to our Kohli, that level, not as in clear, but fanfare and that superstar status. Like, oh my God,
he reminds me of Alan Gilchrist, though. He reminds me of Alan Gilchrist.
Somewhat, yeah. But it's safe to say how was an India wicketkeeper.
About the Daniel Lovelace about who gonna debut in the India T20s. And I got some interesting names there. The fella Ishan Kishan, I think he's a youngster that had earmarked for the
It can be
NRL team.
hard.
But yeah, but the other the Udah,
Correct. If I
yeah, I
back
think
three up from Mumbai too, with
yeah,
the long name.
I think he would
Right.
more get the knock
Yeah,
Correct. Yeah, that's
ahead of
that.
the other two. So that's
Yeah,
I
sure.
think
I
yeah.
got
but
back four.
Nero, I got a question for you though.
Yes,
Because
please.
I ain't got that much to say about the India series, but I just got one question. Jadeja Fit in the World Test Championship playing in Southampton.
Not
Asar
gonna
Patel
play.
in start or no?
I asked some guys this year. That is a very, very tricky
Outside
question.
Patel, he will start Nero.
But hear me now,
He is
hear me
like
now. Hear my
he's like a
reasoning.
reward
What
for
did you
Yeah,
he's like a
Ross,
reward.
he's
Taylor
He's
can
like a
sit up.
reward.
Listen,
he's been
But
performing too good recently for him not to
yeah,
start it.
It's
I
like a
True.
understand that.
it
he
is
only
like
But it
a
perform
doesn't
good
have
in
to. It
India.
doesn't
Calder
have to be for
situation.
Patel.
He only perform good in India.
Oh, it ain't gotta be for Patel. Fair enough.
That's it.
Cause he
That's it.
gotta play.
But yeah,
I can't.
But
I
but
can't
you
but
want to
it
play
in
too
get
left
England,
hand.
started
so
before
that's it. But England can't play
Jadeja
left hand,
though.
so it's like. But Jadeja's a
That's
big one
true.
down there. But Jadeja and he batting a bit.
Yeah,
So the man that
yeah.
made so gonna probably be Washington, and Washington do nine
Yeah.
well.
Thunder.
And
So
him there
Washington
wrong
will
either.
Marshall.
probably
Man
correct.
cannot.
Met
I
nineties,
see that
the
man so
19.
Met
bad.
96 the
So
other day.
correct. So
He
he's
won on
probably
for
gonna mix
Ashwin
up
and
for
won on for me.
Jadeja.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So
wait. If you play Asar Patel, right? While still in England
mm-hmm.
start
Mm-hmm.
slog, sweet he from now till tomorrow morning. You cannot play
Now you
Asar Patel
saying.
in England. You cannot,
That
Nero.
way Boomer.
Now
You
That
we
way
going on a
Boomer
saying.
and
pitch.
Sharma there for.
Who
Now
tell
we
you, right?
saying.
That
Oh, you speaking about for that particular? I thought you mean the
who tell
England
you that
series.
and who tell you?
I thought you meant the
No,
England
I
series. I
mean for
didn't
that
mean World
particular
Test
the
Champion.
one-off World
But
Test
I can tell
Championship.
you true. I can tell you true.
Yes.
England, India will dominate New Zealand.
If you England want India win,
So
That's
England
funny
ain't
though. For that
preparing
in
nothing
England,
with
that
Spain
series in England, you know,
at all.
Yeah, I know.
That series in
and in
England fan
Yeah,
England,
they playing
small
at
boy.
Southampton.
so you got what Jameson and
Yeah.
them man, so it can be a bit
Jameson, they made
closer.
that tall.
But it ain't
Yeah. But I still picking
And Trent
India.
Bolt and Saudi and them made dangerous in their conditions.
I
So you got
still
what
in
picking
this
Kane
India.
in this speaking
in those
condition,
In
conditions,
England,
yeah.
right?
true.
It
If it was in if it was in
playing
Australia,
in
I would
in the
bet you.
summer.
Yeah.
I still picking
Should be a
India.
good series, man.
The
Should be
men's
a good
skill set
series.
improve a
Nah,
lot
Be a
that
more.
good series.
after playing Australia, the man can carry at Perth and nothing. You can't. Jajeta can play. Jajeta can play.
That's tough.
Jajeta
Yeah,
can
he got
play.
to start. For me, he got to start.
He got to play. He got to play.
Jajeta can
Once
play
he,
at
he
Ashwin.
got to start.
At Ashwin. You need that
They'll
extra
be
batsman.
about there.
Yeah, I've
So as much as
seen.
keep Patel for the whole
Johnny.
series.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen one of the comments saying that New Zealand are
But
slight favorites.
Yeah, I would
But
agree with
just
that.
you know,
Because of
I have
conditions.
a pet peeve with I have a pet peeve with the ICC with this. Top one, if it draw the trophy can share the share between two teams. But you met man play this thing for almost 2 years and then it cannot take. And you want draw?
Yeah,
You want
sure.
draw?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
what it said?
Yeah, you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
share.
Nah,
Yes.
yeah.
If
can't
You
if
want
the
draw.
Super
test
Day?
match
You want
draw,
Super Day?
what?
Can I get Super Over? You want Super
Yeah,
Day?
something Nero. Give me something. Give me something
But even
You
if
extra.
you
want
go back,
30-30?
All right, then.
yeah, but who the
Yeah,
top? Who the top
like a
league?
second division. Back
A
35
45,
overs
45, you
and
say?
who get first innings. Yeah, something like Fed because that was real anticlimactic. Like you met man with you
Yeah.
all this has some bustle
I
to
guess
get
it's
to
the
there
same
now.
thing, man.
And
It's
in
the same
England,
option.
they have more reserve there. They have more reserve there. So if you ran for yeah. But you do all out there and it draw like you got to share a trophy.
Yeah.
That's the same
Guess they'll
option.
get
It's just
reviewed,
a
man. It'll
dull
probably get
it's just
reviewed
a dull
after.
ending.
Yeah, we
Just a
don't
dull.
have any more questions in the comments.
Any more questions? Any more questions, people, before we roll out?
Not seeing any more questions. So Nero, you're expecting
Johnny
your guy Shehope
Rafi.
to score
Another
at
100?
least another 100 in this series.
Yeah. Once Sri Lanka don't make 110, yeah. So once I see back first, he should get 2 more innings. He should get another at least 1 more 100. That would take him up the list. He will separate himself from Marlon. Then yeah. Chris get at 2500s. Chris get at 2500s. We ain't let the get in there. We ain't let the get 26.
You got real hands in cricket, yeah.
who gives the legend
100 in T20,
underrated
boss.
legend in West Indies cricket, boss. But
I
that's
don't
a
think he's
story for another
underrated,
day.
Nero.
No, people don't
Yeah,
give him the reverence,
credit,
like how
yeah.
I guess because he's still playing, but the reverence Gil deserve. You see, if you give out 100 tests, give out triple hundreds, give out
Triple hundred,
give
two
like
triple hundreds, yeah.
oh, but aren't they like
Yeah,
T20
boy.
hundreds? Like the most what they have in West Indies. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he
Uh,
also
boss.
ain't scored T20 50. He also
Man,
scored
Oh,
international T20 50 since
oh, that's it.
2016.
Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't know that.
well,
I told you that. I told you that. Yeah, I told you
man,
that.
jeez, oh, bro.
that's
you
the
would
world boss.
you would say that,
Yeah,
but if it
you
was
know he.
Bravo, no, you would be bringing that the
I
past.
I ain't
Thank
bashing
you.
about it.
Thank you very much.
I just saying that's where the argument will be placed. All right. Kevin said one last question. Thoughts on replacing Shepard with Kalmir's
Oh
something to
Jesus! Yeah,
consider.
immediately,
Very,
immediately,
very well said, Howard. Very well
immediately, man.
said.
I don't know. Immediately, don't waste immediate. No,
But Nero, oh
Johnny.
Lord,
don't Nero me.
Well,
Don't do it now.
Nero, but
Johnny
Nero,
Buffett.
not that
Jason,
bad.
have one more from a Buffett.
Man, he's made joke.
There's
The
one
chef
more.
over.
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, we didn't really start to discuss the IPL much, but I think that was because of COVID. That was the COVID situation. We're trying to just keep it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
you know,
COVID. It's
I'm not sure
COVID.
about this.
A Johnny. Yeah, COVID. Yeah. We'll
Yeah,
discuss
no.
IPL momentarily. But right
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
West Indies and we all in. We all
Yes.
in. We all in.
so Nero,
Well,
you replace Shepard.
No, right to no, just
Yes.
no. Oh no.
Not
Yes.
you say? Not
I
you?
guess.
When they see that, when they have a quick
I
info,
tell
yeah, they
you,
see that Shepherd playing and not coming, they're like, what? We had to refresh it. Can you tell me something I got wrong here?
yeah.
But only thing is his role is
the
when
best
Kelpe he'll
shepherd.
be probably playing too low as a
Correct.
batsman, like only thing.
That's the only
When he
problem there,
play him,
yeah.
he
The best
behind that
shepherd
7, 8, like only
is
thing.
David the shepherd. David the shepherd in the Bible. That's the best shepherd I know. Cause this one they're bringing the troops together. This Romario bringing the troops together. Tall.
Definitely
Well,
get the
guys,
thing this time, man.
I think we're gonna wrap up here. I want to thank everyone who would have tuned into the live. I want to thank everyone who would have sent in the questions and everything. I just want to say once again, thank you very much. Once again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe under the video. And thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Peace out, peeps. Be safe. Don't forget wear your mask, sanitize. Yeah.